cut using these lighting techniques. Hello everybody, my name is Mark Banyuri. In this cinematography breakdown, I'm going to show you a music video and talk about how do we create a look, how we set a look, how do we build a look at the end of the day. And after watching this video, you should be able to shoot something like this. So this is the first shot we're looking at, and the first thing you probably notice is, damn, this looks good. This is from a Aputure music video, and I'm going to demonstrate how do we work the scene that we have this look at the end. First thing I always check is the color palette. What colors do we have in a scene? We want this blue feeling, we want this moonlight feeling from outside. They're working, it's nighttime, so that means we want also a little bit of warm touch in there. And this is the most classical look you can go for. This is classical orange teal. Blue and orange are on the opposite side of the color wheel, so they balance each other out pretty good and bring overall balance to the image. So when you're going for this look, you have to consider a lot of things. It's not only about lighting, what to put light here, where to put the other lights. It's also the most important thing is actually everything else. What are the people wearing? How are their makeup? How are people looking? You have to build an atmosphere, a scenery where everything works with each other. Because when you know, okay, I'm shooting in this very dark location. This is a very dark location. We have some industrial working place, and so that means we have a lot of darkness. So, and when we want to focus on the people and the actors, we want them to wear or look more bright. So we dress in this yellow color, because yellow is an area of orange, so it goes really good in front of blue things, or generally just brighter colors. Not just when you go for an orange tea look, don't try to okay, now wear black or wear green. So this overall destroys your whole look you're trying to create. So keep this in mind, that you match also the clothes and the objects the people are using in your color scheme. Then how would I light a scene like this? So it's actually pretty easy to do. We are in this pitch black warehouse. There's nothing, no light at all. First thing first, we start with this big bright light, and this could be anything. Just put your biggest light you have in there and just blast it from the side. The reason is we do it from the side is also this creates a nice brighter background for everything that is in front of it, but also side light gives you a lot more contrast in our overall scenery, because we want long shadows, we want this dark contrasty feeling. That's the reason we light from the side and don't try to light from the front. Also, think in layers. Darkness is actually our friend. So when we want to add a bright light, we would put it in the middle of the area, because now the front stays in a silhouette, so that creates a layer. Then we have this bright part which creates another layer, and then in the background it's dark again. So with this one light we created several layers which made our image more three-dimensional. This is our goal as a cinematographer. Always try to make your image as three-dimensional as possible. Then it depends how much your location, how many windows you have, how big the room is. You can add, what they also did here is another light in the background to create even more contrast. So next thing I would do is now set your camera. This should you at the beginning, and now choose your exposure, because we always light the background first, the scenery, because now we can set the exposure and our look, then drop our people in it, and then try to light them, because it's much more easy to light a few people at the end of the day, or a person that stands in front of the camera, than light the whole scenery. This is where the cinematic look comes from, that you have a nice look across the whole image and not just throw a softbox on some people. So after we set exposure, we want it to be this dark and this light, this bright. Now we are dropping in the practicals. We know, okay, people are walking here. So with practicals, you always do, I tell always people, I call them checkpoints, like in video games. So when I know the people should move from this place to this place, then to this place, I try to put my practicals in each of these locations, because when we're going in for a close-up, we have a motivation. So when he's standing here and we want to put the camera here for a close-up, we just can put a warm light to enhance the lamp we put on the table, and then we are done, because the overall exposure and mood of the room is already set, And this is a way we can move much faster and not try to figure out, okay, how can we light him now here with the same look as before. We don't have to think about it because we clearly placed everything beforehand that we have no hard time to do something at all. Here, this is an elevator scene from the shoot. And first thing you notice is this whole image is pretty blue. It's just blue. And this is a look you will set in camera beforehand. When you know, okay, we're shooting not raw, we have to set color for the overall shoot, do it in camera, because your colors and grading will look much more natural. So we set in Kelvin that it's already more blue and also gives us a better reference on the set how the look is going to look at the end. So why does the scene look good? We have all this blue color, but we have this blonde hair and also the skin tone which balance out the blue in the shot. So we have a little bit of contrast to the blue color so that it's not just blue. Also with this nice reddish rust in the background also helps to balance the color scheme of the shot a little bit better. To light a scene like this is pretty simple. In the end of the day, it's just a top light. Use one bigger carpet light that fits the scenery. Try to flag everything so that it's not just bouncing everywhere and just blast light on her. But the most important thing you have to do is try to do it a little bit at an angle from behind so that we only edge her. When you want a frontal shot like that, don't try to light her front side because now the shot looks flat. We don't want to look at flat. That's the reason we put it at an angle that is just wraps slightly around her. Then to focus the scene a little bit more, put your actor always in forms, circles, triangles, everything. So because this works now as a window and helps the audience to focus on the right thing. And this part should also be the brightest because we look, like I said before, at forms and at exposure. So when this is the brightest part of the image and it's put into a form, we will directly look at this. Also, when you're using your color grading software, you can also extreme the look a little bit more, that you push the edges down, just really drop the exposure. This side and this side is not important. We only want to look at the center. So we drop this down, push the middle part up, and then you get a nice image. Most of the time when you have a video where there's a lot of blue and orange, you always have a shot that's reversing so that we have a shot that's overall warm like this scene. But how do we shoot a VFX scene like this? It's actually pretty simple to do, but you have to consider a few things beforehand. The trick on VFX, as always, we do the same as in real life. What I mean with that, you would light the scene like it's already happening. So we put her on something where she can hold on, and the ground would be probably green or blue screen. I prefer blue screen most of the time when it's possible, because sometimes you still get this green bounce back into the face of someone on the clothes, and green is very unnatural color to see in skin. Blue screen, when it bounces, it simulates more sky, I would say, or water, just a nicer color that shines on skin. So we'll always go for blue screen when it's possible. And after you hang her here, you have to probably put her on some safety gadgets so that she can hold for so long, because she clearly doesn't have the power to be in this position for a long time. Also, don't underestimate when you're doing something like this with a stuntman, because you have to rip the clothes very often, because the things go under your clothes. After you secured her, she's in position, she's in blue screen. So I know there is going to be explosion which comes from underneath. I would put my sky panels or something like this in the same area under her and just go for an animation that you can set in, explosion or something. A few of them I would put on a base exposure, so 30%, 40%, it depends on the scene and the studio, and then a few more will do the explosion, so that we get this warm wrap around her from underneath, and then just give her from up above the camera a little bounce, so because there would be probably a ceiling where the light is bouncing back, that she's not just black. And that's how I light the scene, because this is how light will affect the scenery in real life. The explosion will come from underground, will bounce somewhere, and she will get a little bit of fill from that. So don't try to complicate everything. You don't have for green screen to get her on perfectly exposure. The most important thing is only the ground. The blue screen has to be in exposure. When she is dark, it's no problem. Or nowadays, everything becomes more easy with rotoscoping and everything. So you should be fine. The VFX artist is much happier to do a little bit more of rotoscoping, but the overall lighting and everything is accurate, so that you don't have to fiddle around much with the look. So if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate a subscription from you. My name is Marco Bagnoli. We have daily upload, and we'll see you next time.